I think it's so important for American people to understand what's happening. Their government, their watchdog agencies, the people who go to work every day to fight for them are being fired illegally in what is just a wholesale dismantling of entire agencies.
Now, you're a lawyer and you know firsthand that a lot of this is happening illegally. Explain what we're missing here and how this can happen if indeed what is happening is illegal.
It's a great question, Kira. Civil servants have a lot of protections under the law, and we're only supposed to be fired if our performance falls short on the job. So what has happened is that the administration has fired us. We call it layoffs sometimes, but that's not what it is. It's an illegal firing. And, it's just not credible to say that thousands of people were determined to fall short of expectations. I mean, literally every probationary employee at my agency was fired. It can't be that we all fell short.
So what can you do now? Can you do anything now? Are you going to do anything now?
Of course. My colleagues and I are fighting back. Our union is already in court. They've brought a couple of cases that I think we'll see action in the next few weeks. And, all I can say is that Elon Musk and the president picked the wrong bunch of lawyers to mess with.
Oh, it seems like there's going to be a whole lot of lawsuits happening with this. And I mean, listen, I'm going to tell you something straight up, okay? I'm not going to try to make this a political video, but I know this topic right here about federal employees, it just triggers so many people, and so many people have no sympathy for any government employee. It don't matter what they do. It just doesn't matter what they do. If you're a federal employee, you can have a CPA, you can have a CFA, you could be the best at what you do. And if you work as a federal employee, people just want to call you lazy. They have a whole bunch of names for people like that. But I understand how, companies overall, even in the private sector, they fire people for whatever apparent reason. So usually people who are working in the private sector, they feel a certain way, like, listen, I've been dealing with this type of crap forever, right? In her case, it was a new president, made changes, and now she lost her job. And in a lot of our cases, the issue is a new CEO or a new manager, and they want to change things around. And it don't matter how good of a review you got, it doesn't matter at all. They just fire you for anything, right? And I also understand as well that there is a lot of stuff in the government that does need to get cleaned up, right? Elon Musk is going in there. He's trying to add some technology into everything. And it's just a mess right now. This is truly a mess. But I understand with the downsizing and using technology to simplify things, why, and reduce costs, right? Number one thing is everyone wants to reduce expenses, why this is actually happening. But out of all of the stuff that they're trying to reduce, this is the one that I find interesting, right? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is the one I don't understand how people getting united and just acting like this is okay. I don't understand that one at all. Now, first of all, right, this is for the big banks. So for the average middle class family, or anyone's poor or upper middle class or whatever range you're in, right? You want to be protected by these banks. You want to be protected by these banks. And some people might have an opinion and say, well, they don't do a good job. Well, removing people from there might not be the best option. Firing people might not be the best option. You would think as a society we want more invested into that to solidify it, make it stronger to protect us. But I feel like people don't really understand what they do, right? Let's take it a few years back when Wells Fargo had that whole opening up illegal accounts. Everyone was outraged on TikTok, social media. Everyone was outraged about Wells Fargo. People trying to boycott Wells Fargo. People taking their accounts, moving it, going to other banks. People were really outraged when it came to Wells Fargo. Well, guess who stepped in, investigated this, figured out this is what they're doing, and fined them heavily? It was the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. These are the people who did that. What about all these banks, right? And most recently was Capital One, saying they have a high yield checking account, right? They even did it with the savings account, which is for the high yield checking account, it wasn't a high yield checking account. It was damn near zero. So they got fined for that, for fraudulent. They also did the whole, you signed up to that two savings account. One was the high yield, the one with the highest rate, and the other one wasn't as high. And they told their employees to not tell the customers that they are actually not in the high yield savings account. right? They kind of played with the wording a little bit of the name of the account. That way you think you're getting the highest rate, but you're not. And even though you know that they are not in the highest rate savings account, they stepped in and they fined them, right? They stepped in there, they fined them because they told the employees, you can't speak about that, don't say it. That's bad. I think we could all universally agree that's bad. People now are struggling to get a house because of their credit score. They're getting due to the fact of medical bills getting sent to collections. That used to ruin people's credit score. Now the CFPB stepped in and they made it where your credit score, right? The credit bureaus cannot report that anymore. So for so many people, the credit score went up because of the fact of they removed the medical collection debt from the credit report. All these things are good things, right? All these things are good things because this is a protection from us, the consumer, from the banks. People complain so much about the banks and don't trust the banks. People complain so much about the financial institutions that are out there that are exploiting so many people and taking advantage. Removing and firing people and telling people to just don't work anymore, to just leave, seems like something you would think universally we would not agree with, right? I don't agree with it at all. Something in there just seems fishy. Doesn't seem right at all. Doesn't seem right at all that you want to remove an agency that's there to protect us, right? You want to make it more efficient? I'm all for that, right? I understand if you want to make it more efficient. I have never heard of anything bad that they have done, except for the banks complaining, saying they're always in the way, but in reality, that's their job, okay? Their job is to pay attention to see what they're doing to protect us, because we don't want it to happen what it happened back in days. If you guys remember the housing market, where that was a mess, right? They weren't even doing verification of people's income, verification of people's jobs, giving people so many homes, and dealing with the variable rates. That was a catastrophe. This is where this came from. Elizabeth Warren introduced this, which is a smart thing to do. That way the banks don't run rampant, and there's rules and regulations for them to follow. And this is something that they implemented in the Dodd-Frank as well, the Credit Protection Act as well, to put that all into one to protect us. That's it, to just protect us. So I don't understand this that much, guys. And if I'm tripping, you drop a comment down below and let me know. But this is the only thing that they're doing that kind of got me like, ugh. Like, I understand they're doing so many firings right now, so many people are getting laid off. And I get it, it's a government job, right? The money they make, they generate, I should say, is on taxes. And if things are not being used efficiently, I can see where, some people might get laid off, some departments might get shut down. I get it. Doesn't mean I like it, right? Doesn't mean I like it. I get it, but yeah, this seems like one of them, man. That I don't really know if it's truly going to be a good idea, or if people really understand the magnitude of laying these people off. I mean, obviously they're fighting back, right? They're fighting back. That's just like getting rid of a specific branch to just police these people, and we're acting like it's just okay to just not have that. It's just not right, guys. And just anyway, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, let's see what's going on, because this looks like this is going to continue to happen. I don't know how long it's going to happen, but it's going to continue to happen for a while, with a lot of firings and people getting laid off. TikTok is flooded with videos like that. But this case, I think, is going to be the case where it's going to make national news, and it's going to be a very big deal, because removing this department along with the IRS department that they're doing, I think this one is a huge one where a lot of people are going to step in, and they're going to speak very, very loudly about this.